Hi guys, this is Big Phil from Big Phil TV. Once again, I'm back with another video. This time, we're going to do the real and honest long-term review of the 2018 iPad Pro. I've been using this iPad Pro for a long time now, so I think it's time for me to give you all my real and honest review. It's time for me to tell you all what I think I really feel about the 2018 iPad Pro. So without wasting much time, let's find out if this is still my favorite gadget of 2018, if I still love it the way I loved it the first day I unboxed it. The design is the number one reason why I bought it. I've never been a fan of the previous generation iPad Pro, but this one blows my mind every time. It just looks good, it feels good, very light, very thin. The 2018 iPad Pro looks and feels like the iPhone 5, if you guys remember it, the iPhone 5. It looks almost the same, similar to it. Very thin, as I just said earlier, as you can see right here. The back is very flat. When you put it on the table, it doesn't move. People were thinking with the camera hump right here, it's going to cause the iPad Pro to be moving on the table, but nope, it doesn't move. And it's still built with aluminum and glass. I wish it was built all with glass, but it's okay. The design is still good. The speakers are right on the side, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. And it sounds really good. We're going to talk about it in a second. The iPad Pro 2018 comes in 2 colors, silver and the space gray. The silver, which the one I'm having right here. I prefer this because it looks good. The Apple logo on the back is just so bright, so shiny, it looks like a mirror. I love this one as compared to the space gray. And I wish there were many colors, but we got just 2 colors. I mean, that's the tradition of Apple, always coming out with things either silver or space gray. Sometimes there is the pink gold or something, but it's more silver and space gray with Apple. The 2018 iPad Pro comes in 2 sizes. This is the 12.9 inch, which for me, on my opinion, if you want to use it as a replacement for a laptop, you must go with this one because it's big, the display is good. The sound quality is better than the 11 inch. The 11 inch is for those who like to carrying around, reading magazine, playing games. That one is better because it's easy to carry around. But this one is bigger than the 11 inch. And the 2018 iPad Pro is almost completely bezel-less. Like what I mean is, let me change the background that you see what I'm talking about. Like look how little the bezels are. This is almost completely bezel-less. That's one of the reasons why I always use dark screen on my 2018 iPad Pro, because it makes the iPad Pro looks like it's completely bezel-less, like there's absolutely no bezel. But with a little bezel, it's great. So looking around the iPad Pro, on one side there is the volume plus and minus. There's a charging port for the Apple Pencil 2nd generation. On the bottom, there are 2 speakers, and in the middle, USB Type-C. This is the first device from Apple to adopt the USB Type-C. On the other side, there is a microphone right here. On the top, there is 2 microphones in the middle and 2 other speakers, and the power button is right here. Now, that's it. And as you can see, there is no headphone jack, which means you just have to go with wireless stuff, wireless headphones. On the front of the device, there is no more the home button, which means navigating the iPad Pro is through gesture, like swiping up, stop in the middle for recent app, or swiping up to go back to the home screen. And unlocking the device is Face ID, which is very fast. I mean, like, this is freaking awesome. This is the best Face ID ever in any device. I just love it. In pitch darkness, in broad daylight, it works 100% of the time. And especially when you're covering the camera like this, it lets you know that the camera is covered, which is great. You know exactly where your fingers is. Because sometimes you don't know exactly where the camera is located. You can unlock on any side. Portrait, it unlocks. Landscape, even when you're putting it upside down, it unlocks it. So the Face ID on this thing is something that nobody will ever complain about it. The screen of the 2018 iPad Pro is the best yet from Apple. This is mostly because of the ProMotion. The ProMotion allows the screen to refresh from either 24 when you're watching video, right up to 120 Hz for smooth transition. The home screen is just accurate. It's just so smooth. Absolutely no lag. I've never seen any lag on the 2018 iPad Pro. As you can see, I have a lot of applications that are open on the background. Look at it. But there's absolutely no lag on it. Playing games on this thing is just wow. When you start using the 2018 iPad Pro, you will never want to go back to any other display or any other device because it's just so smooth at 100% of the time. Every time you're using it, it's just so smooth. No lag on this thing. Just look at it. And all this is thanks to the ProMotion, which refreshes the device every time, keeping it smooth. The iPad Pro also has the Apple True Tone technology, which when you turn it on just like this, it adapts to the environment, giving you a true color accuracy. This is a great technology in most Apple products, like the MacBook Pro. And when you turn it on, it gives you a good color accuracy. So I love it, but most of the time I have to turn it off because, especially when you're editing video and photos, you don't need this to give you more warmness. As you see, when I turn it on just like this, you have more warmness on the display. And it's a bit difficult for you to notice when you're doing editing of photos and videos. So I mostly turn it off and use a normal display. The 2018 iPad Pro also has a liquid retina display. That's what Apple call it, but mostly what we know is LCD. I wish it was the OLED display, but I'm not complaining too much about it. It's great. The color is great. Watching videos on it is really good. Take a look. As you can see, the color is really good, but it's not as vivid as OLED display. So we're still stuck with the LCD. So the display of the 2018 iPad Pro is not something that we can really complain about it. We just wish it was OLED display, but this is great. The iPad Pro 2018 is one of the most powerful devices in the market right now, and it's great in every aspect. So if you're attempting to replace your laptop with the 2018 iPad Pro, then you're going to need a keyboard and a pencil. Why the pencil? Because the 2018 iPad Pro doesn't have a mouse support, so you need a pencil for precise touching. The keyboard, on my opinion, is the #1 accessory for the 2018 iPad Pro because it makes the iPad Pro looks and feels like a laptop. There are two viewing angles on it, 1 and 2, which you can use for typing. The key is not the best keyboard. This is not the best keyboard, doesn't have any good clicking mechanism, but the key travel is good. It's not as great as most laptops, but it's good. Typing on it is really good. There is a video about the keyboard. I'll drop the link in the description below. And the keyboard is not cheap at all. It's very expensive, about $200 on Amazon or Apple website for the 12.9 inch. The pencil second generation is also very expensive, $130 on either Amazon or Apple website. Is the same price. So if you are attempting to replace your laptop with this, then you definitely need a keyboard and a pencil for precise touching. This is a great pencil. I love the fact that now it charges magnetically. That means you simply drop it on the top like this and it starts charging. It gives you the percentage also. As you can see right now, it's 96%. And when you're writing or drawing, let's take for example, just like this, when you're writing something, when you double tap on the side, it switches from a pen to a pencil. If you can see from the bottom right there, you can simply erase by simply double tapping to switch from a pencil to eraser. So that's a great feature. And now you simply drop it right there, start charging, it doesn't fall off. Performance-wise, the 2018 iPad Pro is hands down one of the most powerful devices in the market right now. It is powered by the Apple A12X Bionic chips, which in most benchmark tests outperform all tablets, almost most laptops, and it's at almost at the same level as the MacBook Pro. This thing is just so powerful. It's a beast. Like editing videos, photos, or doing anything on this iPad Pro is just so good. No lag, 100% of the time, no lag on it. Editing 4K video on this thing is like nothing. I use this application, which I'm going to recommend it to most of you out there using editing videos. This application is really good for editing videos. It's better than the iMovie, and it's free on the Apple Store. So the 2018 iPad Pro is just so good in anything. Now, this one is the 4GB of RAM. It has two versions, either the 6GB or the 4GB. But the 6GB of RAM is only for 1TB. And it doesn't matter 4 or 6GB of RAM, it's all the same, very powerful. Even with the lack of headphone jack, the audio on the 2018 iPad Pro is great. There are 4 speakers, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and each speaker has its own tweeter and woofers, which makes the sound quality on the 2018 iPad Pro wow. It sounds so loud, so clear, with a great amount of bass, with no distortion. Even at high volume, there is absolutely no distortion. It sounds really good. Let's take a listen. As you just listen for yourself, the audio quality on the 2018 iPad Pro, especially the 12.9 inch, is just so amazing. It sounds so good, loud, clear, with a great amount of bass, with no distortion, even at the maximum volume, no distortion at all. So the speakers on this thing is awesome. The camera of the 2018 iPad Pro is not something that most people talk about because it's hard to find someone out there using the iPad Pro or any tablet for photo taking. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, the 2018 iPad Pro takes great photo. The camera is similar to that of the iPhone XR. If y'all know the camera of the iPhone XR, single camera, 12 megapixel, f1.8 with smart HDR. Then it's the same thing with that of the 2018 iPad Pro. It has almost the same settings like time-lapse, slow-mo, video, photo, portrait, square, panorama. Even on the top, the settings are all the same. You can switch from front to back, the flash, the timer, or you can turn on the live or turn it off. So the camera of the 2018 iPad Pro is really good, takes great photo. When you take portrait photo like this, you can get into edit and you can change things like the amount of blurriness in the background, either from no blurriness to so much blur. You can also change from natural light to studio light, contour light, stage light, or even stage light mono. So you can change a lot of things, the same as that of the iPhone X or iPhone XR. You can also increase the light in the background. You can increase the amount of light. So the settings and everything about the camera of the 2018 iPad Pro looks like that of the iPhone XR or iPhone X. So the camera of the 2018 iPad Pro is great. If you're someone who is into photography with the iPad Pro, then you're never going to regret this because the 2018 iPad Pro takes great photos. The only significant thing holding back the 2018 iPad Pro from becoming not only the ultimate tablet, but also the ultimate laptop replacement is the software. The 2018 iPad Pro is running the iOS 12.1.3 right now, but it has limitation. Like you cannot use a flash drive or a storage with the iPad Pro. For example, when you connect it just like this, it doesn't show up anything. As you can see, there is nothing showing from the flash drive. It's very limited. It's USB Type-C, yes. People, we're all excited. We're happy about the USB Type-C, but it doesn't recognize a lot of stuff, like it doesn't recognize mouse. It doesn't recognize external drives. It's just so difficult to transfer files into the 2018 iPad Pro. Right now, I'm using mostly Google Drive to transfer documents from anything into the iPad Pro. The limitation is just making the iPad Pro very difficult to use. But when it comes to applications, I'm going to give it up to the iOS. There are plenty of beautiful applications on the iPad Pro or the iOS, which are very useful. And most of the applications here are made just for the iPad Pro. Like, there are beautiful apps. As you can see, all the applications I'm using here optimize very well. The games like this one, Overkill 3, wow, it's just so good on the 2018 iPad Pro. I've been playing this game on many devices, but on the iPad Pro, it's just so optimized, so sharp. You see every details. So when it comes to the applications, iOS is great, but for other things, no, it's just so limited. So that's the only thing holding back the 2018 iPad Pro from becoming the ultimate laptop replacement. Now let's talk about the battery life of the 2018 iPad Pro. Both sizes has different battery capacity. The 11-inch has 7,812 milliamps. The 12.9-inch, which is the one right here, has 9,720 milliamps. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, the battery life of the 2018 iPad Pro is awesome. Apple claimed 10 hours on a single charge, and yes, that is true. I've been using this iPad Pro for a long time now, and I've never had any battery issue with it. I charge it every night, use it from morning, all day, right up to midnight, and I'm still left with 20% of battery. Now I got 30% because this is 2 days that I haven't charged it. I haven't charged this iPad Pro for 2 days now. As you can see, I still got 13% right here. So the battery life on this thing is great. And charging it also is awesome because it comes with a fast charging in the box. So you can charge it very fast without any issue. So the battery life on this thing, I confirm and I honestly say, is awesome. That's all for the review of the 2018 iPad Pro, and my verdict is that this 2018 iPad Pro is a great build tablet that needs a better operating system to really make the most of all the power it contains within. So that's all about it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification for more great videos coming up on Big Field TV. Until then, see you into the next one. Peace.